What's up, Essentials fam? I'm at the airport. I just parked. It is crazy here for some reason. This weekend, it's not even a holiday weekend, but when I pulled in, all of the floors said full. Luckily, by the grace of God, I found a park, and I'm like way in the back of the parking garage. And I thank God that I actually left my house and got to the airport early. And I never do that. Normally, I'm that person that will show up to the airport literally like an hour or even less than an hour before the plane leaves, because I hardly ever will check a bag. So for some reason, I was just like, I'm going to get there a little bit earlier. I'm flying with a different airline this time. I'm flying with American. I normally fly with like either Southwest or United, but this flight, I'm flying with American. So I think it's in a different terminal. I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but I'll see when I get in there. I'm going to DC this weekend. Trey is already there. We are going for the Congressional Black Caucus this weekend. There are a lot of people who are already there. One of my best friends will be there as well, Melanie, and so I'm excited to see her. So yeah, it should be a fun time. We're only gonna be there for the weekend, so it's a quick trip, but it's gonna be a good one. So let's go. Got my bags. This is where I'm parked at the very end of the garage. You have to go all the way over there to the elevator. So here we go. So the events for the Congressional Black Caucus actually began, I think, like last week, or the beginning of this week. But I'm just going for the weekend. There are still some other events that are going to be going on between today and Sunday, so it should be fun. So I like to say that I'm getting an outdoor walk-in whenever I'm at the airport. Every step counts. But it's also to show how long it takes me to get from the garage into the airport, which took about 6 minutes today. And then to see how long it takes to get through TSA Pre-check line, which took about another 5 minutes. This is part of the new terminal in the Memphis Airport. It's really nice, and there's even a performance stage in the corner right next to Starbucks. One of my favorite stops to make in here is the restaurant Stage Left. They have a really good food menu. Definitely check out the salmon burger or their pizzas. They also have one of the best bartenders I've ever met named Q. Stop by here if you ever visit. I made one last pit stop and soon we were heading on our way to Washington, D.C. Before we took off, I checked the weather app to see if the hurricane was still heading towards D.C., and it was. Once we reached cruising altitude, I turned on the latest Little Mermaid because I hadn't watched it yet and ordered a glass of champagne. About an hour later into the flight, turbulence began and the captain said we were flying over the storm. Thank God it didn't last too long, and soon we were beginning our descent into Washington, D.C. I checked the weather app again once we landed, and luckily, The hurricane was starting to break away. Off the plane at gate 37, my stomach growled and solicited me to get some food. I stopped here at Wow Bao, which is an Asian street food-inspired restaurant with over 600 locations in the U.S. I ordered the green veggie dumplings and a taste of the citrus glazed chicken and rice. Both were delicious and I love their shirts. Right afterwards, I called an Uber to head to the hotel. This time, we were staying at the Westin in City Center. Its location is superb, being that it is near the Convention Center, Lincoln Theater, and the Capital One Arena. It has an open atrium and lobby that can sometimes get a little noisy, but it's still nice nonetheless. There's a cool little bar and eatery over there, which I'll show later in the video. We're on the 7th floor this day, and the views from most of the rooms look over the lobby and atrium. Whenever I'm walking down hotel hallways like this, I always think about the twins that were sitting at the end of the hall on that movie, The Shining, every time. Okay, I've gotten into the room, y'all, and I feel awful. So I'm supposed to be, well, I'm about to start getting ready, like changed. I'm gonna shower real quick, change my clothes, and then go and meet Trey because he's out right now at an event, and so I'm gonna meet up with him. So I'll see you in a little bit. So this is the final look. I got this dress from Never Fully Dressed. It is kind of customizable, like you can wrap it different ways. You can wrap it to where you don't have a slit. You can wrap it to where it's like fully closed. So I really love this dress. I wear it often. I really like it a lot. So this is the look, and I have on these shoes are from Target. These are my most comfortable black shoes, and so I wear these quite often. I have a little black clutch, and I'm getting ready to head out the door. So we are headed over to Park, where there is a FAMU, like alumni gathering or something like that. So that's where I'm gonna go meet Trey. Lincoln is a thoughtfully designed restaurant that's been open since 2011. It is one of the many benchmark restaurants in downtown Washington, D.C. But what sets it apart is all the President Lincoln decor, memorabilia, the pennies everywhere, and of course the food and beverage menu. They have brunch on Saturdays and Sundays, but the brunch menus were different based on the day. It's full of entrees and a la carte items on Saturdays. They have also started advertising their Thanksgiving celebration menu, so if you are in town and don't want to cook this Thanksgiving, definitely check out this restaurant. We started with some hot tea, and we both ordered variations of the Lincoln breakfast. The food was fresh and amazing. After we finished, we people watched and got a chance to speak with one of the managers. She was so gracious to show us the tasting room in the restaurant. Here's a little background of it.
A lot of the drinks that we have now have evolved from like the original drinks when we first opened, which was a lot of like preserving different like fruits, mixes and batches, peach especially. We do a lot of that with our drinks and our food, all in honor of Abraham Lincoln. Our floor used to be entirely pennies at one point, like a whole dining room. However, not the most easiest to maintain because you see in that corner that's like water damage. And then like corner pennies were starting to come out. So it just wasn't the best to maintain. We do a lot of like the artwork that we do sell, you know, the t-shirts. One of our cocktails, the Freedom Manhattan, we have to sit in a barrel for 30 days to really get that oakiness taste to it. So yeah, definitely cool little room, one of our nice little secrets here.
Yeah, this is so cool. Thank you for showing us. Before we left, she made sure we checked out the bar that was covered in pennies. Such a great restaurant. Highly recommended. So we have just finished eating brunch at Lincoln. It was very good. If you are in DC, please go and check it out. Really, really cool place with all the historical stuff they have in there, and just the decor is really nice. Now we are in CVS because I need something for this ulcer I have, this hectic situation I have going on. So I'm looking for something. I don't even know what I'm looking for. Maybe I ask the pharmacist. So I consulted with the pharmacist and he told me to go with some omeprazole and in the Tums. So that's what we're getting.
This thing know how much money I had.
There's no cash payment. Like
I thought it saw my balance in my bank account. It said you have no cash. I'm like, how did this machine know I was poor?
no cash payment.
Okay. Thank you. Clarify.
Making our way back to the hotel. Crazy weather, but at least it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
It's windy.
And drizzling, but at least the hurricane hasn't really done anything, so that's good. I don't know why I'm out of breath. We made it back inside the hotel now, and I'm just gonna rest and just hang out and chill till maybe later on today. And I have to call one of my friends to see where she is and see if we can meet up with her a little bit later. We watched some college football and tried to take a nap while the rain passed. Once we got up and had reached out to our friends, we were invited over to a friend's family house, and they were the most loveliest hosts. We then made our way over for our reservation at the Michelin restaurant, Bise. It was an intimate dining experience, and I did not want to film, but trust me when I say, add this restaurant to your list. Not only is it great, it is just steps away from the White House. To end our night, we took a stroll over to see it. Here is Trey pretending to be a tourist, and this was the end of a wonderful evening. The next day, we got up to get ready and I decided to film a quick makeup tutorial. The products I use are all clean beauty products, which means they stay away from any harmful ingredients. They consist of Beauty Counter and the Lip Bar. This routine of mine usually goes pretty fast, and then I just have to decide what to do with my braids. I decided to keep the 2 French braids as I felt they went with my chill and comfortable airport look today. As they say, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. So we walked back over to the Lincoln restaurant to see what their Sunday brunch was all about. Sunday brunch differs in the fact that they have a bottomless experience for food and drinks. They also have an omelet and waffle station. Today, we went with some different entrees that were not available yesterday. Trey got the shrimp and grits with a side of potatoes, and I got the French toast with a side of chicken and apple sausage. Everything was so good. We then returned to the hotel to gather our things and sat in the lobby at their bar and restaurant called Infamy. We didn't order anything because we were so full from brunch, but it was a great spot to catch some of the football games before our flight.
We got Dr. Fauci and Trey on their way to the airport. Stay woke.
Bye, DC. TSA Pre-check and then me going through Clear, but he's got a head start, so we'll see what happens. So I'm getting taken to the gate. He's right here. Hey, babe. Babe. Still back there. We had a great time, but the song makes the ride.
It does. I think Conga's better.
Yeah, Conga was great. So I'm glad we got
Do
that.
that Conga, no, you can't say something any longer. Feel them in the mother. Can't survive anybody. Do that Conga beat. It makes the song.
It does. I'm so glad we got that the first time.